Alright, what's going on, guys? So today we're going to do what I imagine is probably an anticipated video if you're someone who follows my Instagram or watches this channel or has seen other reviews or any other videos. I'm going to do a review of my favorite knife, the Oz Machine Co. Roosevelt. This is an old custom. This is number 64 with a side cut carbon and factory Damascus bits and a hand satin blade. Pretty much all options other than the Damascus stuff that you can't get anymore. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and do a size comparison. I feel like a lot of people know what size knife this is now because they're kind of come more popular. But there's next to a bug out. Very fantastic size for a knife. I mean, it's my favorite knife, so obviously I'm gonna like it. You're gonna have a lot of positive reviews. There's not much negatives gonna be in this video, so if you're someone who hates positivity the entire video, go ahead and leave. This knife, we'll start with the ergos, because the ergos are what is the winner on this knife above everything. The ergos on this knife are just fantastic. I mean, look at these. They're just made to, it's made to have a hand on it. Someone thought when they use this knife. I should have brought my Para 3. I'll put a picture in right now of this knife next to a Para 3. This is like a custom Para 3, like as far as size goes. It's fantastic. Yeah, so the ergos are great. The overall look, to me, I think it looks fantastic. They have a bunch of different configurations, Daniel does, and he's been making more and more. He's got a lot of plain ones out there. There's a lot of milling patterns he does. He doesn't do the carbon fiber anymore, although when I talked to him at Blade Show, he said he was going to start trying to put more carbon fiber back into knives. But to me, like, there's not many negatives. So we have, looks great, ergos are great, super great action. This one's actually not as good as the newer ones. This one's a lot more consistently like hydraulic. I've handled a few newer ones and they're more smooth with less hydraulic to me. You know, your numbers may vary. You know, I've tried 5 or 6 different ones, and the new ones are a lot more drop shooty smooth, whereas this is literally just hydraulic. It is one smooth, perfect continuous action, but it's not as like, I mean, I guess it's still drop shutty, but the newer ones are super crazy. Trying to think, I guess I'll address the elephant in the room is the price on these and availability. So this was a custom. This was probably roughly 750 bucks new when it was ordered. It could have been a little bit more, a little bit less. We'll call it 750, 800 because, you know, the carbon fiber and the Damascus. But a new Oz is going to run you roughly $80 to $100 if you can get one. So he has a lottery system that happens weekly. It used to be 5 to 10 knives, maybe a month. Now it's roughly probably like 30 knives on average a month. He's getting a lot more of them out there, a lot more availability. But if you want to try one, you know, now, today, you're going to have to go on the secondary market. And as someone who has bought and sold many Oz's on the secondary market, let me go ahead and tell you, this is not a $1,500 plus knife. Now, these are starting to come down. I've seen Oz's as low as like $1,000, $1,100, you know, for more plain, just basic tie ones. Do not pay more than, if you're getting a plain basic tie, do not pay more than $1,100. Even if you're getting a milled one, unless it's like the radial, you know, special spiral, like crazy anno one, don't pay more than like 1,200 bucks for these. I'm an idiot and bought one of these at the hype, the old mag one I had. If you follow me on Instagram, I paid like $1,500 for that knife, and I bought a Damascus clip and a bunch of other stuff. At one point, I had almost $1,700 in that knife. This is not a $1,700 knife. This one I actually traded for. I won a lotto for a mag milled Magna Cut one, and the guy wanted it. He had this knife, which is my perfect spec. We traded, so I basically got this for table, you know, $800-900 bucks, whatever it was at the time. So I'm in good on this knife. But yeah, don't spend more than like $1,200 on this knife. These knives are not worth that much, and even Daniel will tell you that. You know, if you want to buy a fancy Damasteel one, or, you know, with crazy Damascus frame side, then be my guest, spend $2,000 on one. But yeah, don't spend a crazy amount on these. That's kind of really the bad side of these, is just availability and pricing, because if you want one now and you're impatient, you're going to spend a ton, or you're going to probably wait and just hope to get lucky. And the best place to look for these is the Facebook groups, and then like Knife Swap on Reddit and Instagram. The Facebook groups are definitely the best. Oz, buy, sell, trade. But yeah, there's not anything negative. I'm trying to think. This one's an older one, and I've carried it a million days, so the lockup's really in there, as you can see. The newer ones lock up a little bit less, but they're also going to break in. They're not nearly as carried as this one. I personally like the thumb hole. I never use my thumb like to slow roll or like to flick. I always middle finger flick this thing, and I feel like that's probably what 90% of people do. So I don't know, kind of, if you're someone who likes thumb studs, you might learn to flick this knife, but this knife's really meant to be Spidey flicked, which is a win for me because I like Spidey holes more than thumb studs. I'm trying to think, is there anything bad? This one, oh, all his new ones are in Magna Cut at, I don't remember, 62 Rockwell hardness. You can argue in the comments about Rockwell hardness. I really don't care, as long as it works. This one's in Z-Finite. He had some that were in LC200N, but I like Z-Finite. That's kind of another reason why I like this knife so much, is it's literally basically stain proof or rust proof, because this is so stainless. Plus it's like S30B good on edge retention, which is perfectly fine for me. Now everything he does is in Magna Cut, so it's, to me, the perfect steel because it doesn't rust and it's pretty freaking, has pretty good edge retention. The toughness, hardness, you know, I'm not a super duper steel nerd, or steel snob, I guess, so that stuff doesn't matter a ton to me. Yeah, I wish he would do more carbon. Hopefully he does in the future. And another good point, like I said, there's only gonna be good ones. Daniel Oz, the maker, is a super cool dude. I talked to him for like 3 hours over the course of 2 days at Blade Show, and he was super cool. We talked about guns, fishing, knives, cars, everything under the sun. Super cool guy. So just, you know, if you're buying one of these, you're supporting a super cool dude and super cool maker. Hardware, he's making, this is all tie connector hardware, but actually now his new stuff, he's making all of it. He's making the pivots, he's making the screws, he's making literally everything. Now I think he makes every part of this knife. He even makes the bearings. So if you get a newer one, you're literally getting a knife 100% made in America by him. So that's cool. These older ones, like this is all tie connector hardware and like skiff. It might just be tie connector bearings. I don't know who makes the bearings. They're not skiffs. But yeah, that's really it. There's not much I don't know if the new ones have lanyard holes. This one does. I know some of them did, some of them didn't. I don't remember if the new ones don't or whatnot. I don't care about a lanyard, so if you're a lanyard guy, I guess get one of the ones with lanyard hole. If you're not, you know, who cares? I don't think the lanyard hole is good or bad. Yeah, that's about it, guys. This is my favorite knife. There's not much more to say. I freaking love it. I carry it definitely more than every other knife I have. It's either this or the Vector is in pocket pretty much every day now. Like, I don't carry anything else. So, all right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.